Alright y'all, today we're taking out the Nomadic giveaway trike. I'm just going to do a casual flight, try to do as many off-field bush landings as we can throughout the flight, but the topic of discussion today is aimed towards the younger audience. I actually realized there's quite a few kids in my neighborhood that watch this channel, and it got me thinking, they're young, they're in school, I was young and in school at one point. How did I afford a paramotor? I think when you're young, it's kind of an opportune time to make money to afford a paramotor because you have very little other expenses going on in life, and some of the beauty of paramotoring is that there is no age restriction. So I'm gonna tell you guys the story of what I did to make money, which was about $10,000 to get into the sport in the very beginning. So I got the trike mobile ready to rip behind me. Obviously I'm talking about how to afford a paramotor, but the cool thing is if you guys get entered into this giveaway and you win, you won't have to worry about affording a paramotor, which is exactly what happened with our last winner, Ethan. He had been saving up to get one. He won the EOS Quattro and that just jump started him into flying. So if you want a chance to win the Nomadic Paramotor trike, simply visit the first link in the description, check out our new merch, and every $5 spent on the web store gets you one entry to win. That includes the new merch, gliders, propellers, reserves, accessories, everything on the store. The giveaway comes to a close on May 16th and May 17th. I'm holding my first ever meetup where we'll do the live drawing. So if you want to attend, be sure to RSVP to that as well. All that being said, let's get this bad boy in the air.
All right, I gotta be real honest with you guys. I was recently flying the trike and I stupidly let my throttle go, swung back, hit the prop, exploded the throttle. So that means I have a temporary throttle on it right now. Off-grid, the makers of the throttle, they were so cool, they're sending me a brand new one to replace this one with. So whoever wins this will get a brand new E-Start model, as it should have. Don't worry, future winner of the giveaway trike, I swear I am taking good care of her. All right, let's get this baby in the sky. So smooth, so easy. There's Judson. Let's go buzz him. He looks like he's on a very important phone call. Hi, buddy. Man, I've been enjoying just flying a trike all the time. I basically have traded my normal foot launch paramotor for the trike for the next month. It's soothing to fly a trike. It's so chill and easy. Alright, I see a little random strip runway that's kind of facing to the wind. We'll do a touch and go on that, and I'm going to start telling you guys my freaking life story of how I afforded a paramotor. Long-winded version. But anyway, from a very, very young age, that's how all these stories start out. I was always, financially minded. My sister will think this is funny. Back in the day when we were just kids, we would go to the coin machines in grocery stores, and literally, I swear, we were just kids. We were not adults. We would lay under the coin machines and pull out coins that had slipped under the machine, and we would save our little pennies. And then I remember we would go to the dollar store and just buy little trinkets. And from a super young age, before we could even earn money, I was always, financially minded of saving money and then knowing that I could afford something with it. Fast forward to a little bit older age, me and my sister did the classic lemonade stand in New Jersey in the summertime. Set up out by the roadside, and we would sell our lemonade, we'd make a little bit more money and afford a little bit more trinkets than just the dollar store. But you're probably thinking, lemonade stands in the local coin machine is not going to afford a paramotor. How did you afford an actual paramotor? Fast forward a little bit more, I always had an entrepreneurial type mindset, and when I was a kid I was big into RC planes, and this is back before like drones were what they are now. So I was always fascinated with putting a camera on anything. I built specific airplanes and quadcopters to carry GoPros and point-and-shoot cameras. So my first little business I started was actually real estate photography. And I was a minor still. I was probably, 14 years old. But I built setups that were good enough to get some actual aerial imagery for a local real estate or realtor. And I think I would charge like a couple $100, $200-$300 for a full photo shoot. I would go out and get aerial photography of these homes. So that put just a little bit of cash in my bank. After that, probably when I was around 15, I started working at the local airport, and I was just doing all kinds of manual labor. Mostly picking weeds, but a lot of it would just be these weird tasks. I swear, one time I polished the entire airport floor with a kitchen sponge. Another time I swear I edged someone's lawn with a pair of scissors. It was always these weird radical tasks with the most underqualified tools for the task. But that was a solid $10 an hour cash. Ooh, can we get a touch and go on this super, super tight little tiny backcountry strip right here? Over the bushes, down on the rocks, and back up. Woo! Hey, that was a testament to this thing not throwing rocks into the propeller, because that was extremely rocky and I didn't hear a single one hit. So that was all just seasonal work, and I needed something for the winter time of New Jersey when it was all cold and wintry. So I picked up a pizza delivery job. This was still in high school, and that job was honestly pretty chill. All I would do is fold boxes, and then when an order came in, I'd jump in my little Subaru Forester. I'd play my rap music I was into at the time, like early 90s rap, and drive around and deliver pizzas. And it was super chill. I also vividly remember that same place, one of the chefs just stirring a big-ass bowl of pasta sauce with his bare arm. This guy had hairy Italian arms. And I was like, bro, you know how many arm hairs are probably going through the pasta sauce into the pizzas? Look at this guy up here on the little hill. Yes, sir. So that being said, yes, all of these jobs I was working were just paying for gas money, really. So then came my first big opportunity to actually make decent money. I was working at the local airport still in the summers, doing crazy tasks, trimming hedges with scissors, cleaning up the toilet bowls with toothbrushes, and a drop zone came to the airport. They started a skydiving operation. And the first year it was there, I remember just watching it from a distance and thinking, that's pretty cool. The year after, the boss that I was working for at the airport introduced me to the people at the drop zone. And this was my first real opportunity to make decent money. This was sophomore year of high school. And the first year at the skydiving operation, I got hired just doing normal tasks like driving the golf cart, picking up students from the parking lot, giving them their waivers, giving them the little brief, and putting their harnesses on. Quickly after, I got graduated up to packing parachutes, and this was where the real money was. Instead of working hourly, I got paid $10 for every tandem parachute I could pack. And let me tell you, this job is not easy. First, there's a huge learning curve to learn how to pack a parachute in general. Okay, I'm gonna shut up for a second because I want to land on this cool little plateau and I don't want to botch it. Woo! Little bumpy. I gotta miss this cactus. So yeah, big learning curve to initially learn how to pack a parachute in the first place, and then it is back-breaking work. You work the skin off of your fingertips, not to mention the entire time you're kneeling down and arching your back over, so literally you just get back problems. On the best weekend of the entire season, I could pack about 30 or 40 tandem parachutes in a day, so that's $300 to $400 in a single day. On top of that, I learned how to edit videos, which back then we had to do it all manually, and I had a little bit of video editing experience beforehand. I could knock one of those out in about 5 minutes. We would burn it to a CD, mail them to the customer, and I think I got $5 for every one of those. After 2 summers of doing that job, I realized that I had about $10,000 or $12,000 in my bank account, and that I could actually go afford a paramotor. It was the middle of the summer, somewhere around July. I went to the bank, I took out $8,000 cash. I don't know why I actually took it out in cash rather than sending it some other way. But I had that $8,000 in my hand, which was the physical manifestation of 2 years of hard work. I took that money and I bought my first paramotor, which I think was around $6,000 at the time, and my first training, which was about $1,500 at the time. Later on, I bought my first wing after training, worked the rest of the summer, saved up a little bit more cash, and then went and bought my first glider, which was an Ozone Buzz Z4, which was like a paragliding wing. It wasn't even a paramotor wing. I think I paid like $800 for that wing. You're bald! So yeah, I totally get everyone's financial situation is extremely different, and for some people it's going to be way harder than others. But moral of the story, if you're a kid and you have your sights set on paramotoring, start doing something. Go out, find some entrepreneurship type stuff, mow some lawns, offer a service, start pressure washing, do something, or find a drop zone near you and get into parachute packing. It's a good, introduction to like the whole extreme sports industry anyway, so you may as well. Whoop. Little off-road touch and go. And that's my TED Talk for today.
And that's all I got for this one. In the next episode, I'm going to take my first paraplegic passenger flying, so you don't want to miss that. If you have not entered this trike drawing yet, be sure to get entered now that the video is over. Check out our new designs. I'm getting a lot of great feedback as customers start to receive their packages. Appreciate all the support on this giveaway. Until the next one, have fun, fly safe, peace.